मेरा झुमका उठा के लाया यार वे जो गिरा था बरेली के बाजार में मैं तो ठुमका लगा के शर्मा गई बोली घूम कर बता दे के मैं आ गई मुझको नचा के नाच ले आजा नाच ले मेरी यार तू नच ले झनक झनक झनकार हो नच ले मेरे यार तू नच ले अब तो लुटा है बाजार सबको बुला के नच ले आजा नच ले मेरे यार तू नच ले झनक झनक झनकार हो नच ले मेरे यार तू नच ले अब तो लुटा है बाजार मैंने गलती करी थी मेरी नथनी पड़ी थी मैंने गलती करी थी मेरी नथनी पड़ी थी कि सोने में उसको रंगा गई मैं रंगा के अटरिया पे आ गई मोहल्ले में कैसी मारा मार है मेरे दर पे दीवानों की बहार है सबको नचा के नच ले आजा नच ले मेरे यार तू नच ले झनक झनक झनकार हो नच ले मेरे यार तू नच ले अब तो लुटा है बाजार
Hinduism is a monotheistic religion. It believes in one God that is all-pervasive, both immanent and transcendent. We believe in karma, which is the universal law of cause and effect. We believe in rebirth, in reincarnation, and eventually, once we have become perfected, we'll achieve moksha, where we'll merge with God. We believe in dharma, which is the necessity of righteous living, of living and seeing God within everybody, and doing our duty to society. We believe that every religion is valid, that the passion within each religion is what's important and not what name they call the God. Unlike the Western religions, we do not believe in an intrinsic evil. Hinduism doesn't have an eternal heaven and hell. It has states of being where karma is burned off, either good or bad, and we're reborn once it equalizes. Karma can go into your next incarnation or 100 incarnations after that. There is no place that non-believers will go. If you have faith, then you're a good person, then you achieve good karma. In Western religions, the universe is created once and we will be destroyed once. In Hinduism, the universe is constantly being created, preserved, destroyed, and recreated. There is no heaven or hell. Everyone has one path, and that is towards God. Each person will have different bumps in the path. Some may take more lifetimes to achieve it. But no person, no soul, will be denied oneness with God. Hindus do not try to convert people into their faith usually. We believe that every faith is valid, and if you want to be a Christian, if you believe in Jesus, then that is perfect. We don't want to take you away from that. So there are obviously always going to be radicals who say that this is the only way, but as a general rule, Hindus do not believe that any other religion is wrong, and so we won't force anybody into our religion. We do allow people to convert on their own will. It's a very personal thing, a spiritual thing. There is no formal conversion. It's if you believe you are a Hindu, then you are a Hindu. So a lot of people like to change their name, like me, to symbolize their new faith or the faith that was always there, just not realized. So that is very much a personal thing and not required. The afterlife. Well, when you die, depending on your karma, what you did during your life, you will get reborn higher as a human, which would be great, or lower as some sort of animal or plant, or even just a human in less fortunate circumstances. And it all just depends on what goals you need to achieve. If you need to realize humility, then you'll be placed in a life where you understand what it's like to be lower, and you realize the equality of everybody. So there's not really a heaven and hell. Your karma burns out mostly in this life. You know, the things that you go through will get you better or worse karma. And it is possible to burn off karma between lives, but heaven and hell aren't really a big part of Hinduism. And once you have evolved and have become enlightened, then you merge with God. The end goal to Hinduism is moksha, liberation from life and death, and merging with God, which is the most delightful thing there could be.
It was an amazing experience. We got to see so much of what we weren't used to, and we were guided by the best person. He told us so much and explained everything to us. He created an open dialogue that was completely tolerant, and he basically explained all of Hinduism to us and let us see everything from his perspective. It was an amazing time. We got to look at everything. They had all of their avatars out for their celebration. It was completely beautiful and something so different.
So when my group went to the Hindu temple, it was a real eye-opening experience. I didn't really know much about the religion Hinduism before I went there. But once we got to talk to Dr. Shakur, and he told us everything about, answered all our questions and everything like that, and see how everyone interacts with each other and what they do, like for example, taking their shoes off when they pray. It was just a real eye-opening experience, like I said before, and I really learned a lot from this project.
We were able to visit the Hindu temple yesterday. Fortunately enough, we were led by Dr. Chad Shakir, who is actually the founder of the Hindu temple in Southwest Ranches. And luckily he was able to show us around and kind of let us experience the whole Hindu culture itself. He explained to us that it was actually Diwali, which is their New Year, the week before we visited, so they still had a lot of decorations up for it. And there were at least, I don't know, I'd say 200 people there. So when you go there, it's like a culture shock, because coming from such a concentrated area of Parkland, where it's mainly Jewish and Catholic, everyone's kind of the same, in a certain way. So to go somewhere where people take their shoes off just to enter a religious building, and they sit on the floor, they sing mostly the whole time they sang. They have all these bright lights and cool pictures, sculptures, statues, everything around. It's very interesting, and you get to learn a lot about their culture. Dr. Shakir was more than kind enough to teach us really what a lot of it meant, and we even got to meet some of the people who often visited that temple. It's just a very eye-opening experience and humbling, because you get to understand what another culture is really
When we went to the temple, I felt super out of place at first because people were dressed so differently than I was. But when we met Dr. Shaker, he made all my nerves go away and really welcomed me into his temple. He was super easy to talk to and knew everything you could know about Hinduism. It was super eye-opening to see a completely different religion celebrate a huge holiday, because I was so used to going and seeing Catholic traditions like Easter or Ash Wednesday. I left the temple with a feeling of humbleness and more knowledge about the communities around me.
Alright, so it's Tuesday and we visited the temple on Sunday, and we're not at the temple now, but yeah, I still remember what happened there and my experience. So pretty much me and my group members, we didn't have prior knowledge of Hinduism, and when they prayed, we took our shoes off and sat crisscross on the floor for some reason. But yeah, when we went there, it gave us a completely different feel for the religion, and it's much different than what you read in the books. Everyone was really nice and respectful to each other, and I didn't really know there was Hindus in South Florida. There was a lot of people there, but anyways, Dr. Shakir, the guy we met with, was very informative, and he made Hinduism applicable to everyday life and all the other religions. So yeah, thank you.